Hey guys, Mr. Palmer here. You might be wondering why I am wearing an apron or why we are in my kitchen. First of all, welcome to my kitchen. Today, I am teaching you guys life skills because today's my birthday and I want to make myself a cake. And we've talked in class about making baked goods and how to decorate and how to bake. So I figured I might as well show you. Now, let's see here if I can do this. I am trying to figure out technology. So if I do this and hit toolbar, this can snap left. And now I have my recipe. I think. Yeah, now I have my recipe. Okay, so, fantastic. Welcome to my kitchen. See my spices and pots and pans. Anyway, so first things first when you're baking. Before you get started, you want to wash your hands. So I washed my hands. Hope you guys do if you decide to bake. Do your dishes. So that way, if you clean as you go, you're set. Otherwise, you can just pile everything in for later. And when you live in a small apartment, which I do, you have to have room. So, after you do that and you get prepped, you need to pull out all your ingredients. So, ingredients! Ta-da! Okay. So you have to have everything together. And last but not least, stay hydrated, people. Drink water. Alright, and so we're going to get started. For my birthday this year, I wanted to make a lemon cake. Now, as you guys know, I'm on keto. So, baking is a little bit different because you can't use some of the regular flours and stuff. But you can use substitutes. So, step 1 of the recipe. Preheat oven to 350 degrees. Okay. So, preheat your oven and leave it alone. Next is one of the most important parts of baking a cake. And a lot of people either don't think of it or whatever. So, I always, right before I bake, I just give my pans a quick rinse, just in case, because, I don't know, I used to work in a bakery, and so it's just an extra precaution that I take. Alrighty. Now, that's set. What I do next, which is super important, is pull out your handy dandy parchment paper. Now, why in the world would you use parchment paper? Well, if you don't use parchment paper, the cakes can stick to the bottom. And that's never a good thing. So, because when you're done, you flip them over onto themselves. And if you have a layer of parchment, it just helps things not stick. Okie dokie, guys. For the purpose of not boring you, I paused part of it. So, if you look over here, you'll see I have cut out one piece of parchment paper. So, I can just stick it in the pan. Now, if you're ever using parchment paper, doing this can sometimes take a little bit, but it's a super important step. So, what I do is I flip the cake pan upside down onto a clean surface, and I put the piece of parchment on top, and it actually sticks to it, so I can use it as an outline. So that way I can be 100% positive that it will fit in my cake pan. So, it doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work. So, yeah, that will work. Yep. Alright, so now that that is done, I can set that aside for now. I will need to grease those, but I'm not going to do that yet, because I'm excited. I want to get this cake done. Alright, so in a medium big mixing bowl, whisk the almond flour, coconut flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt together, and set aside. Okay. Beautiful. Alright, so I'm looking ahead here, and what you're going to need, or what I'm going to need rather, is another bowl. Because, I don't know if you guys ever hear this, but when you're baking, you usually have to keep the wet and dry ingredients separate. So, one bowl is going to be for the dry ingredients, and one is going to be for the wet ingredients. So again, clean surface, clean surface. Make sure everything's washed. This is going to be my dry ingredients bowl, because it's going to hold all my flour. And, alright, so I'm going to get almond flour, coconut flour, and all that stuff. So, handy dandy. Measuring cups, make everything easier. Alrighty, so I have one that is for 1/3. That's for my coconut flour. And 2 cups of almond flour. Now, the reason you do that, not that this part's really important, but if you're curious, almond flour is super dense. And so when you're baking with something that, well, you want it to taste like cake and taste delicious, you are going to need to have some sort of other flour mixed in with it. So, I used coconut flour, and it makes the cake light and like how you want a cake to taste. So, anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. And, I don't know, staying safe. It's very important. Ms. Walsh and I talk pretty frequently, and, you know, we worry about you guys, and we're excited for when you can come back to school soon. Although I'm sure you guys might be liking being able to sleep in and all of that. Alrighty. So, we have that. Ooh. It smells like coconut. I love this stuff. Alrighty. So, I have both almond flour and coconut flour in my mix. Now I need baking soda. And this. And I just looked ahead a bit and I saw I needed salt. So, let's see. Where are we at? Let's do baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Do-do-do-do-do. Alrighty. And I always double check. You know how there's that saying, measure twice, cut once? Well, it's the same with baking, because baking is very much like, well, it's science. If you do one thing wrong, it'll mess up the science of what makes it work. It's not like cooking, where, I mean, yeah, there is that involved, but baking is very technical. Alrighty. And then one more half a teaspoon of that. And now, just to keep things clean and organized, I'm going to put that back on my project table. Because again, small apartment. And we just need, I believe, a pinch of salt. Alrighty. Pinch of salt. Okay. Now, I believe that is all of our dry ingredients. Yep. So, we're going to whisk it together. You can use a mixer. I don't usually use a mixer until I mix the wet and the dry ingredients together a little bit later on. But you want it to be good, especially with almond flour. It can have like little, not chunks, but you know, flour chunks, and you want to make sure it's all nice and broken down and that everything is mixed well and incorporated. Alrighty. That is good. Next. In a measuring cup, measure out almond milk and add the vinegar. So, fun fact, we don't have vinegar, but you don't actually need it. All you really need... I knew I had a package of lemons open. Are lemons. Now, why lemons? Because lemons are acidic, and they work similar to, vinegar. All you have to do is double the amount that you would normally use. So I have a whole bunch of lemons. I need a knife. So if I need, how much vinegar do I need? I need half a tablespoon of vinegar. So I'm gonna need 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Or, excuse me, lemon juice. So that's actually just about 1 tablespoon. And honestly, I like using lemon anyway, because, well, it's a lemon cake, so a little extra lemon juice never hurt anybody. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to set this lemon aside because I need to use a zest, or make a zest later, excuse me, and that'll be perfect for that. Shoo. Almond milk. How much almond milk do I need? Half a cup of unsweetened almond milk. Beautiful. I love almond milk. It's so good. Alrighty. And I think I said half a cup. I did say half a cup. Beautiful. Alright. So I put that in there. And it says, allow to sit and curdle for about 5 minutes while you mix the other ingredients. I can do that. Put almond milk back into the refrigerator, because I don't need it anymore. Okay, let's see. In a separate large bowl, whisk together eggs, monk fruit, coconut oil, vanilla extract, lemon juice, and lemon zest. Okie dokie, I can do that. Shoo. I have eggs. And now the age-old question, is this bowl going to be big enough? I ask really good questions. Yep, I'm gonna try. Why not? If I'm wrong, worst thing that happens is I need to get a bigger bowl. Alrighty. Now, this guy I'm going to set aside because I have to cut lemons later on in this recipe. And I'm going to move this guy over here to get it out of my way. Because again, small spaces. So for this recipe, I need 4 eggs. I think. Yep. I don't know if you guys watch any of the baking shows. I just got done watching Nailed It. And, it's funny. And I like it when people try to bake, even if they're not good at it. But I watch all of them. I enjoy it. The process. Watching people's creativity. And sometimes their stupidity. Like, how many times do people put a cake in the oven and forget about it? Or forget to grease a pan? It always happens. Alrighty. Now let's see. I need 2/3 of a cup of granulated monk fruit sweetener. If you were making a regular cake, you could use sugar. So, I got my handy dandy monk fruit. Alrighty, 2/3 of a cup. So there's that. And now I need 2/3 of a cup of coconut oil. It's supposed to be melted and cooled. That is not enough coconut oil. I need my second jar. So it does need to be melted and cooled. So I will have to do that. So I will pause you so I don't bore you. Hey guys, I'm back. Alright, so what I'm doing, because you can't see, my oven. I just have this jar on here because the stove is kind of hot because I'm preheating my oven. So what I'm doing is I'm letting this jar heat up so the oil melts, and that's what I'm going to use to grease my baking pan. Partially because, I'm not going to lie to you, I am lazy and I am out of spray cooking oil. And partially because I'd like to think, if I do this right, sorry, I'm tired. Oh, that the flavor of the coconut oil will come through in the cake, because lemon and coconut, they actually kind of balance each other. Alrighty, let's see. Now, monk fruit coconut oil. And then I'm on to my extracts. Okay. So for this recipe, I need lemon extract and vanilla extract. And then I need lemon juice and lemon zest. No biggie. Alrighty. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And that one is lemon. See, it is a good thing to double check because you don't know when you might accidentally do something stupid. Okay. 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. 2. Okie dokie. Set that aside. 1 teaspoon of pure lemon extract. Now I'm going to need these again for my frosting and for my mousse that I'm making, which I haven't told you guys about yet. I'm going to experiment and make like a ginger lime mousse for the middle of the cake. Maybe. Still thinking about it, but why not? I mean, it's my birthday. Okay. And now I need 3 tablespoons of pure lemon juice and half a tablespoon of lemon zest. Okie dokie. Now, let's see here. Lemon zesting is more of a pain in the butt. Not even gonna lie to you. But the fresh lemon really comes through and it makes it worth it. So I'm going to get my small bowl because there's no way to zest a lemon without making a mess. And you can't see what I'm doing because my camera. Let's try this. Okay. So yeah, pain in the butt, but the lemon is, it makes everything fresh and it gives a cake that zingy quality that you want. I made a practice one, not a practice cake, but I made a practice little version of you know those mug cakes? Well, I made one of those a couple nights ago because I don't know, I was talking about making this cake for my birthday and then I was in the mood for something lemony. Alrighty. Yes, this part is very messy. But that's fine. Alrighty. 1 lemon has now been zested. And each of these lemons is about 1 tablespoon of stuff. Of lemon juice. So I know I'm probably going to need about 3 lemons. Almost there. Oh, that was a good one. Fun fact, little disclaimer, it is a lot easier to zest a lemon that you have not juiced. So juice your lemon after you zest it. But I didn't want to waste it, so, because I used the juice of that lemon for my vinegar earlier in the video, if you guys remember that. Alright. Well, yeah, I'll do a little bit more, and then I'll double check. My coconut oil is melting nicely. It smells so fresh and like lemon in my house right now. Alrighty. And we have, yep, 1 tablespoon, if you can see it, of lemon zest. Just enough. Beautiful. Alright. Now, I need 3 tablespoons of pure lemon juice. Well, it don't get much purer than this. Always remember to take your stickers off of your produce before you cook or bake with it. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't occasionally discovered something in one of my recipes. Alright, I'm just gonna toss the lemon seeds into the sink. I most definitely do not want them in my cake. Yep, here comes another lemon seed. Pain in the butt. But that's just about one. So I may have been off. Well, no, because this little guy doesn't really have much in it. I guess this is when having a juicer would be handy. But I don't have a juicer. Alrighty. 1, 2. Now I need one more tablespoon. And then I'm just going to double check my recipe. Done. I have to juice one more lemon. So I got about half a tablespoon. Oh, hey, here's a smart thought. Set these aside for the rest of your baking later on, because I'm pretty positive I need more lemon zest. Do not waste things, people. Alrighty. There's that. There's my sticker. And there we go. 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon zest. Now back to my recipe, lemon juice. Back to my recipe. Okie dokie. Whisk together the eggs, monk fruit, coconut oil, lemon juice, and lemon zest. Pour the curdled milk and mix until combined. Alright, so we're still on with primarily our wet ingredients, except for our sugar. I didn't know if for the zest, if I had to fold it in recipes, sometimes that makes a difference. They did not say, they just said whisk it. So, whisk it together I shall. And again, you can't see. There we go. I'm so excited. I've never made this kind of a cake before, but I don't know, I wanted to do something fun, because I'm quarantined this year, and so I can't really go out and see my friends or anything like that, so sometimes you just gotta make yourself something nice. And what I love about cooking and baking is it's so creative. It's definitely, you know, an art form and a form of expression. So that is whisked together pretty well. And I'm gonna do it once more, obviously, once my wet and dry are combined. Now, this is supposed to make this curdle. You can't see me. But apparently that did that. And I'm gonna pour it in and mix until combined. Alright. I've never used curdled coconut or almond milk, so I don't really know what I'm looking for. But I can say that this has a nice yellow, almost kind of a creamy-like consistency. So that probably means I'm doing something right. Maybe. We'll see. And if I don't, well, then the only person who's going to miss out is me. And I can just run to Wegmans and get some keto ice cream and call it a day. Alrighty, so slowly add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. Stir until well combined. Okie dokie. And we're almost done making the cake. Now for this part, I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'm going to use a mixer. The recipe doesn't call for a mixer, but anytime you use almond flour or anything like... Fun fact, guys, never do what I just did. Because apparently I unplugged it and forgot to plug it back, or put it all the way back to 0. So never do that, because you could get hurt. Alrighty, now that guy is set aside and ready. And the lemon juice in here will have a reaction. So, it'll have a reaction with the vinegar thing that I made. So now, we're just slowly incorporating it. Woo! And making a mess at the same time. It's great. Until you get something that looks like cake mix. Alright. Rinse that bowl out. Now I'm going to whisk this together with my mixer. But first, before I do that, I am just going to double check. Alright, almond flour, baking powder, salt, vinegar, eggs, oil, lemon juice. Yeah, that's everything. Alright, we're doing good. I'm going to put that aside because I will be doing that later. Alright, now you gotta be very careful, you never want to over mix, but that mix looks good. It's a little thick compared to what you'd see in a normal cake mix, but it looks good. Alright, next, you take your melted coconut oil and you grease your pan. Doesn't have to be crazy because you have parchment paper. But just enough, you know. You don't want your cake to stick to the sides. Or the bottom. Now if you're using like a non-stick pan, I don't know. I've just seen enough things happen where sometimes it's good to be safe rather than sorry. So, this guy is all prepped. I'll set him aside. Alrighty. Now, clearly, I don't mind getting my hands dirty in the kitchen. But if you do, then there's always a better way to improve on what I'm doing. Alrighty. 2 greased up pans ready to go. Now, I'm going to put the coconut flour, or coconut oil over there. And now, I'll give you guys a look at it, because it looks pretty good. I'm kind of impressed with it. It looks like cake mix, so I guess I shouldn't be too impressed yet, because I have 100% no idea how it's going to taste. But I followed the directions. And now I'm just going to get any cake batter that is left on here back into my bowl. My oven is already prepped, which is great because I have a gas stove in the oven. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it takes forever for my thing to heat up. So I'm going to move it this way so you can see what I'm doing. And half of the batter is going to go into one pan and half into the other. And I think, again, because it's a almond flour cake, the consistency looks a little bit different than what you would see in a normal cake. And if I'm wrong, and I just made it wrong, well, we'll see that too. And then that makes for an interesting conversation to have once I get back to school. You can tease me mercilessly. Alright, so I'm just gonna spread it out. Yeah, I've never made a cake like this, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta have fun and experiment a little bit. It is thick. I'm not gonna lie to you there. But you know what? Let's see. And I guess because it's so thick, now's a good time to bring up the importance of shaking your cake pans before you put them in the oven. Why in the world would I ask you to shake your cake pans? Well, because if you don't, you'll end up with a lopsided cake. And considering I'm doing two cakes on top of each other, you don't want one tier to be falling over. It doesn't really do well for anybody. So it's taken me a minute. I just want to make sure I have a nice, even layer. And I'll show you what it looks like before I pop them in. Sometimes I think I make my life a little more difficult than it needs to be. I'm sure there's an easier way to do, just about everything. But this is the way I've been doing it for years. Now, I'm pretty positive the cakes will be thin layers. So they won't have that nice rise that some other cakes, that are made with regular flour will have. But I've never made a keto cake, so we will see how it turns out anyway. And this looks pretty good. I need to not be OCD about it. Sometimes it's hard. I'm really good at that. But I imagine the mousse and the other stuff, the frosting, will lighten it up a bit. Alrighty. We'll just get that down in there. Alrighty. And now we shake the cake pans. You do this so the batter is nice and that's something you do with all type of cake. Doesn't matter if it's an almond flour cake or what. And now, because I'm OCD, and I want it to look a certain way, I am going to do this. Alrighty. I also used larger cake pans than what the lady did in the recipe. Because, well, that's what I had. So now I have my cake mix all set. My oven is good to go. And I learned something very important. I forgot that I only have one oven. And it's too small for both my cakes. So I'm going to cover this one and set it aside. No big deal. Things happen. Whatever. Clearly I haven't tried to bake a cake for myself in my house for a while. It's true. I usually go over to my parents because they have a normal people-sized oven. But you know what? We're just going to make do with what we have and go from there. So, I'm going to pause this video, do my dishes, because as you can see, I have made a mess. So I'm going to do my dishes, put away the stuff that I don't need, and prepare for the next thing. I think next we will make the mousse. I've decided to do it. So next we will make the mousse, followed by the frosting. So it'll be great. Bake the cake for 19 to 24 minutes. So I am setting an alarm so I don't forget. Timer, 19 minutes. Start. Alright. Now I'm going to pause you so you don't have to watch me do my dishes because that's not fun for anybody. And I will talk to you guys soon. Hey guys! Welcome back. So now we are going to make our ginger lemon mousse. I now have, as you can see, a clean surface again. Woo! Go Tori! Anyway. So, I'm just anticipating that I'm going to need this bowl. So, since all my dishes are clean, I can just put that there. Alright, and now let's begin. Whisk eggs, sugar, lemon juice, and ginger in a medium heavy saucepan. Oh! Okay. So, we're gonna whisk the egg, sugar, lemon juice, and ginger. Actually, okay, alright, that's what we're gonna do. So for this one, I'm going to use Confectioner's Swerve, because honestly, I don't know if I need to use confectioner's sugar. Hey, you know what, I'll just use regular monk fruit. Because the recipe doesn't specify, so if it doesn't specify, I'm not going to worry about it. So, 2/3 of a cup of sugar. Step 1. And I'm actually not going to use that bowl. I'm going to use this because I didn't realize that I have to throw it on the stove and cook it anyway. So, 2/3 of a cup of sugar. 4 large eggs. Guess it's a good thing I got the family pack of eggs. Because I've used a lot of eggs today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty. That step is done. 2/3 of a cup of fresh lemon juice. 2 to 3 lemons. That's a lot of lemons. So we're going to set this aside. Alrighty. And then we're going to get ginger. And you might not have heard that, but that is the sound of lemon seeds falling into my mix. Not super helpful. Now these are tiny lemons, so I'm burning through them pretty quickly, I gotta say. Man, having a juicer would sure be helpful right about now. Wow, this one had like a whole bunch of seeds in it. Well, yeah, that was a lot of lemon seeds that just went in there. So, I'm just going to wait till the end and then strain it, because I am tired of picking out lemon seeds. Well, right now, we are almost there. I sincerely hope we have enough lemons left to make our frosting. But if not, since I guess we have time, if I have to, I can run to the store. I just don't want to. Could always ask Tony to pick up some lemons on his way home. Alrighty. We are almost there, people. But I'm going to pause it because this is probably boring. Hey guys. Alright, so I'm just straining my lemon juice into the bowl. Picking out seeds as I go. And every time a seed falls out, I just pick it off and set it aside. The cool thing is, I had literally just enough lemons. So that was pretty fantastic. Alright, now these seeds could just go right into the garbage. And our cake is done. So I'm just going to whisk together this stuff real quick. Can throw that out now. Oh, I almost forgot the ginger. I cannot forget ginger. Here we go. Unfortunately, Wegmans was out of ginger. So, fresh ginger. So I had to use this stuff. But it'll work. And so I threw in a little extra ginger. And I'm trying to think, because, think about, like, tea and what you like, tea that's in a tea. So, ginger, lemon, I think a little bit of mint is a good idea. Not much, just a little. So, let's see what I got over here. Do I have any mint? I do. I have fresh mint. So, I'm not going to use a lot. I think just a couple of leaves will do nicely. But before I do anything, take our cake out and put our other one in. So, it did not rise at all. But I don't think it was going to. So, let's get this next cake in. So, it is definitely going to need that mousse to give it some sort of a substance. But it smells good. So, for that I'm happy. See? I have our cake. Alright. Now, that cake is, you know what, I should put it in the freezer right away. When you make cake, you put it in the freezer or the refrigerator to chill it. Because if you don't do that, when you go to ice it, the hot cake will melt the icing. And that's not good. So, I'm going to stick it in the freezer and set my timer again for about 20 minutes. Alrighty. Now let's whisk this together. And then we're going to cook it. I'm just checking to make sure I have it all. Yep. Now, fun fact. You do not want to whisk the heavy cream, which is the last thing on here. You do not want to whisk that together right now because the lemon and the heavy cream won't mix. So now that this is going on, we are going to cook it over medium-low heat. Alright, for about 4 minutes until it is smooth. So this actually goes through 2 rounds. The first round is until it is smooth. And that's about 4 minutes. So after that, I have to raise the heat to a medium and until it's thick enough to coat the back of a spoon, which is about 7 to 9 minutes. So it's 12:41 right now, 4 minutes, 12:45, and then I'll raise it. I don't want to bore you, so since I'm just mixing, I will pause this part. Hey guys, so here's what you missed. It took me a little bit because once I got done heating up my mousse, I had to strain it. And I didn't really have a strainer, so I used a confectionery sugar thing, one of these. Anyway, it took a really long time to strain my mousse. So, the cake is done. Yeah, it took me like 20 minutes. But, good news is, my mousse is strained, and so any of those lumps and everything are out of it. So, see? We have a nice lemon ginger mousse. It's very lemon and gingery. I realized I forgot this. This is the mint leaf. So, might be a little bit late to add it, but what I'm gonna do is if it's messed up, the only person that's gonna be bothered is me. I'm gonna put a splash of mint extract. Not much, just a little bit. Now, the flavor's probably pretty intense right now. I'm going to add a splash more. But that's very pleasant. You start with the lemon, and then you get that ginger kick, and it backs off with the peppermint. It actually tastes like my favorite tea. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Alright, so now the directions say to wrap this and stick it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. So we will be back to this later. In the meantime, let's stick this here. And we will get our second cake, which turned out very nice. Smells really good too. We will get that into the freezer. Alright. So then for step 2 of that, we're gonna beat the cream. I think. Let's see here. Yep, we're going to, basically make a whipped cream. So, I don't know if you've ever made homemade whipped cream, but yeah, you just use heavy cream. And so, we are going to do that until soft peaks form, and then fold it into the lemon mixture, and cover and refrigerate for 30 minutes. Yeah, alright, well that's easy enough. So, now we are back to making frosting, which is super easy to do. But, as always, I have made a mess, and so I'm going to clean up my mess, and then we can get on to making the frosting. And then I'm thinking this will be my baking video, and I'll have a separate video for the decorating. So we'll see what happens. Alright.